Okay, well, I left Al at work, unfortunately. So no greeting from Al, but I am broadcasting from Whitetail. Um, I wanted to go over something we did not cover from the chapter, but you do need to read about and understand diabetes. I think someone brought it up in class, diabetes mellitus. Um, this is when you can't control your blood sugar, and there are two main causes. Now that we reviewed what happens here when the blood glucose rises, beta cells from the pancreas release insulin. Well, one cause is that the beta cells don't release insulin or aren't even there. So if you're deficient in insulin, deficient in insulin, and the other cause is right over here. Body cells take up glucose. Remember I said that if you had a surface receptor for the glucose right by a surface binder for the insulin, and when your cells have a decreased response, and to insulin. So it's there, but your cells are like, okay, fine, there's sugar out there, but I don't need to bring it in. So what happens with this, there's two types you've probably heard of. Well, first of all, let's say this happens. So either one of these happens. Why is this dangerous? Instead of using glucose, if you remember in metabolism, we had glucose, 10 steps to pyruvate, then to acetyl-CoA, then to the Krebs cycle, and there were different places proteins could enter, and there were different places fats could enter. So if glucose isn't being used, because let's say no insulin, or your cells don't care if insulin's right there, they're still not going to bring in the glucose. What your body will do is it will metabolize fat. Fat metabolized, so that enters further down. It doesn't enter as pyruvate or acetyl-CoA. It enters further down, and it releases acidic byproducts. Like protein metabolism, the leftover is urea. Well, fat metabolism, you have acidic byproducts left over, which lowers your blood pH, lowers the pH of your blood, and that causes all kinds of trouble and can easily kill you. So you have sure have heard of type 1 diabetes. Type 1, you're pretty much born with it. It is an autoimmune disease. Autoimmune. That means your immune system attacks yourself. So autoimmune. And it's basically the immune system kills your immune system, your beta cells. Your beta cells. So pretty much if you have type 1 diabetes, you have to get another form of insulin, and it has to be constant. So if you have type 1, you're born with it, you don't have the beta cells, there's all kinds of stem cell research and stuff going on. But the only way to cure that is by taking insulin. Now type 2, that you've heard about, I'm sure, type 2, is the other way. Decreased response to insulin. Type 2 is your cells are like, so you're there. You're always there. So you're going to see type 2 is that decreased response to insulin. So you're making insulin, and you might be getting a little worn out, but your body cells aren't responding to the insulin, probably because glucose is always there. So you usually see this if you're overweight, which obviously occurs because you're consuming more calories, so your blood glucose levels are high often, and your cells don't see that as something that is required, and you don't exercise. So if you don't exercise, and every day, then your cells over here, their metabolism, they're not using a whole bunch of glucose because they're not doing anything. So if they're not using glucose, then there's no reason to bring it in, and it's always there. So you end up getting type 2 diabetes. And pretty soon your cells won't respond to insulin at all, at which point there's no way to get glucose in. And if there's no way to get glucose in, you have all of these issues. Now, with this pH, it means you're going to keep a bunch of ions, and then the ions damage the kidney. One of the things with type 2 diabetes further along causes kidney failure. And that is your report on diabetes from Whitetail. Anything else? Let's see. Nope, I think I covered everything. Over and out. Well, let me switch to my cursor and stop recording. Oh, I don't know if you can see here. Let me look up the webcam. Can you see the slopes? Oh, there they are. There they are. They were right behind me the whole time. So,